Yeah.
Cause that opening, them first couple episodes was some gas. I ain't gonna
It
hold you.
was
It started off really
heat,
good,
bro. It was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
bro. Crazy.
Had a lot of folks hooked. All right, so I figure for the first main topic, since we're kind of running on schedule for the most part, I think we're gonna scrap the Daredevil. If we have time, we could talk about that later. But I think we're just gonna go straight into that X-Men game that we got.
Okay.
So just to give y'all some context why we chose to do this game, Marvel supposedly, I think Jeff Snyder, if I'm not mistaken, um, a reliable, I guess you say, leaker person who talks about Marvel and everything from behind the scenes, said that they're going with a traditional Chris Claremont X-Men team. I think that involves Beast, Angel, Iceman, Jean Grey, and Cyclops, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. Um, and me and Niall figured, hey, since we got that, we might as well make a game out of it. So since they going that route, what would be your X-Men team that you would want to start off with for this new X-Men saga that they're mutant saga that they're pushing towards? So we got some characters on the screen, and you got the rules right there. Create your own X-Men team for the MCU and prove why they work. Choose a minimum of 5 characters and a maximum of 8. Note, this is based on characteristics of speculated MCU X-Men traits, which we are assuming that they will be younger and more inexperienced than the mutants that we've been accustomed to seeing in the past.
Okay.
All right. So we got these Jones. I should have told everybody to get a paper and pen, but we on the PC, so I'd assume niggas would be able to write it down.
Well,
But
I got our note open.
bet. And just to name all of the characters, because I know it's probably gonna be hard to notice some of them. Going from left to right: Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Rogue, Storm, Beast, Emma Frost, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Magic, Kitty Pryde, Bishop, Iceman, Gambit, Jubilee, Angel, Havoc, Sunspot, Domino, Mimic, goddamn, Forge, Thunderbird, Psylocke, Morph, Quentin Quire, Darwin, Boom Boom, and Cecilia Reyes. Don't got that. Bear with me. I can put the list right in here.
No, I got you.
Bet.
Trying to get this team together. You said minimum 5, maximum 8.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Could we add a bonus of who we want to see, like the actor for that could play this person?
That was actually gonna be one of the questions. I ain't gonna lie. After this,
like pick
if
one
we
of the
have some
characters
time,
who you want to like act that person.
we can. Because I was gonna ask, yeah, who would be your dream X-Men actor that you would want to play your favorite character type of thing?
Suggestion, just so that we don't go crazy over time. We pick one person.
Yeah, that's what the question was gonna be. Just one person. But we could do that after the game, or we can try and put it in our responses too. It don't really matter to me. Feel like that'd be asking a lot. You already got to make a team. Now you got to see who your dream cast is gonna be too.
All right. I got mine figured out. I had to think about this for a second.
Shit.
Yeah, I got mine.
All right, I got mine. So who wants to start off that has theirs already while everybody's still going?
I'll kick it off. So, off top, I already know mine is going to be the most unrealistic because I for sure don't have Jean Grey or Cyclops on my list at all. I don't want to jump into doing the whole Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean love triangle thing. I don't want to deal with the Dark Phoenix saga again. I don't want to deal with Forge and the Sinister shit again. We're seeing that already in the animated stuff. We've seen it in the movies a million times over. I'm cool on seeing that. So off top, they're out. I don't even want to see Logan for a long time. Maybe Logan coming in later on, but right now, off the first initial team, no thank you. My team is going to be composed of Nightcrawler, Jubilee, Storm, Magic and Colossus. Keep the siblings together. Forge, Bishop, and Beast. So off top, I wanted to make sure that I had enough characters in to deal with the narrative of mutants that are not human passing, because I do think that is a narrative that we only get in small tidbits here and there with characters like Beast or Nightcrawler. So having them included in that, I think would be really dope. Then as far as the leadership aspect goes, I thought it'd be great to have a Storm, because I think Storm is the kind of the de facto leader in this whole thing. But I can also see her bumping heads like she does in the comics, a lot of characters like Forge and Bishop. Just based off the fact that, well, more so Bishop than Forge. Bishop is another one of those characters who seems very much so prideful and wants to be a leader in that format. So having them kind of bump heads in a Leonardo, Raphael type of situation, I think would really fit there. And I also wanted to have the younger, like the vehicle of a young character to explore the world in regards to a younger mutant who is going to be human passing. So she's going to be accepted by a lot of different people, but she's going to be kind of deal with the conflict of having to be out in the world and still wanting to be a human, but also wanting to still rock with the mutant family. So Jubilee is what that's for. I think Jubilee is probably the perfect character for this, if not her. Then obviously, well, funny enough, yeah, just her. I think she's the perfect one to use it with, just because of the fact she's going to be like the younger teen idol kind of situation where she's going to want to be in a regular high school, but still want to be a part of the team. Kind of similar to X-Men Evolution stuff that you saw with Kitty Pryde, and I think we saw it a little bit with Rogue. And then obviously Magic and Colossus are going to be my wild cards. They're going to be the ones that are going to be in a lot of the darker storylines, because obviously Limbo and dealing with something like Mephisto and them being fucking Russian and having to deal with a lot of that stuff that goes along with that. And then obviously you have the intelligence people of the group. You have the Forge and Beast being the smarty pants people. I think with this group, you cover a lot of the things that you would need from a team, as well as a lot of the abilities in regards to what you need from like the powerhouses to the intelligence people to the tacticians, the brawlers. And then storyline wise, you have so many different storylines you can touch on that just aren't a super norm, I feel like. Or I know the mutant not blending in things is a norm, but I think that's a staple that you always have to have with the X-Men story, is that idea that you're not one of the human beings, even if you look like them on the outside.
Yeah, I love that breakdown. I love that. I'll preface though that originally I did have Jean and Cyclops on my list, but like the thought that you said was what I had in my head as to why I don't want it. And then I was like, no, I think I want to change that up because of another dynamic on my team. So I'll begin now. My team, for me, I have Magic, Colossus, Emma Frost, Bishop, Kitty Pryde, Forge, and Cyclops. So the reason why what I said is because I originally had Jean Grey and Cyclops on there, and I said no. I think what I would want to do if we could have a start, and these are younger characters, is I would like to explore the brother-sister relationship with Colossus and Magic versus the Cyclops Jean Grey relationship, because we've seen it so many times before. Emma Frost, the reason why I have her on there is because I feel like Emma Frost is she could be such an amazing tie-in, especially somebody if you started really young with her, but because we kind of know that she moves into a background where she networks a lot and she works with a bunch of different, not only mutants, but non-mutants. She set up galas. She's introduced us to different versions of herself in ways that introduce more characters. I think that Emma Frost is just somebody who is kind of like a Swiss Army knife with. And if you need a character that's kind of like could possibly be a traitor, you could have her operate in even that way as well. She could even be a connection for us for Magneto and something down the line. Bishop, I love the leadership points. I kind of had similar points on that, where I think that Bishop is. I just think that the story with Bishop, if it's something where they were to be able to keep it somewhat comic book accurate, and the displacement and just the things that he's experienced, he could create not only like a little bit more of that serious, more grounded tone that we have a lot of interest in, but also could be somebody who can challenge Cyclops as a leader in ways that can maybe even strengthen the leadership of Cyclops. So I thought they could probably bounce off of each other very well. Kitty Pryde, adding a little bit more of the youth back into it. That's why I wanted Kitty Pryde in there. And then Forge, the reason why I wanted Forge is because I like the element where the intellect and the intellectual character can kind of be bridges, or could be like that surprising, like just character that can save the day. Like they just have the possibility of that because of the knowledge that they can bring. So that's why that was my list. Look, 18 seconds. I did pretty good. I couldn't do that without a timer. I'm telling you, they know this is way better. I can't do that without a timer.
It would have been 10 minutes later.
I'll go next.
All right. Do you want a timer?
For the timer to go off.
Okay, ready?
All right. Yeah, I'm ready. So for my list, I have Cyclops, Storm, Jean, Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, and Morph. The reason I'm led to this team, Robert and I talked about this in our chat, like having the X-Men be like a covert ops type of team. And I use them because it's like, these are people that can get in and out. I can use Storm for cover. I got Cyclops as like a tactician. Jean is not confirmed if Sadie Sink is Jean, I don't think. But what we've seen in that Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer just had me thinking, like, if she could mind hop through different people, it's like you don't even have to enter a certain space in order to get like information, in order to control somebody, things of that nature. And I have Kitty Pryde, like for the same reason that I chose Nightcrawler. Like if you want somebody to get in without being seen, or that needs to, make a quick exit, these are my people. And I don't really have like a muscle on the team, but I chose Morph because I know while he doesn't copy the actual powers of some of the X-Men or heroes, he can mimic the powers, not to the same extent, but it's just, this is a smaller team that's comprised of people that, have to use their abilities in a different way. And that's why I have Storm here as well. Like when I mentioned having her as like a cover, it's like, they're not just going to be out there, in broad daylight. It could be, her providing some type of protection for the team, do their mission, get in and out without having to be seen. But I mean, I just kept it short, but I liked all y'all's teams too. But I just kind of don't want the original, with Beast, Angel, Cyclops. I mean, I know that's just fan of me talking, but that just don't really excite me. And I'm thinking of this, I guess this is for the MCU, so it's going to be like, post-Secret Wars. So it's like, how are the X-Men going to be here without causing a scene? Like, to Diesel's point, we do have mutants that don't have a human appearance, So it's like maybe the mutants are trying to cover that. Like, hey, we can't just be out here with blue skin being seen. So we gotta make a dash for this. Do this mission. Let's get up out of there and not cause any commotion because we don't know what the perception is going to be of the public.
I like that, especially for what you're trying to do. I like that team. I like that setup.
Yeah, I do too. And the other part to that is if they do end up going this younger route, there's this question of, is this cast that they use as the original X-Men supposed to be what we know to be the established X-Men once the saga kind of really launches off? Or is it something where they're like more rogue at this point? Because there's a lot of instances where they may be chased that we may see with if Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, where we'll see that happen. And if they're in a chase kind of scenario, the team that you put together, I really like, because especially getting out of places is going to be a key detail for them.
Yeah, real quick, to Diesel's point, I really do not want Wolverine in this, because having Wolverine going after like a young Jean Grey, I feel like Wolverine should just be like a mentor, somebody that's passing down wisdom to the mutants on like, how to control their powers, how to operate in the world, because I think that little love triangle shit is played out, especially in these movies.
Mhm. I've always seen Wolverine as like him, probably Emma to an extent. I've always seen them as like the older mentors that come from like the evil world. Like they've seen a lot more in the world, so they can kind of give them knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Plus, if we keep it in a buck, the X-Men as a whole didn't really pop off till like 15 years in, when you started to get more of the Storms, the Bishops, like to the Claremont era. Because they came out and they really wasn't hitting on too much for at least 15 years while Stan Lee was in charge of them until he gave it up.
Yeah, we was just talking about that in the chat too. I guess if they slow walk it like that, this is what I was saying to Sage when we were building this. Is like, I'm not mad at it. I just know that the peak of my interest may not come until like the second movie.
Okay.
Completely understandable.
I can
All right.
I'll go ahead and get my team and let Sage go last. I went with Forge, because since he can literally make anything out of nothing, like it will come in handy for like the tech wise of like any mission that they might have. Storm, Bishop, Domino. I really like Domino. Like her luck keeps her out of trouble. Morph to be able to sort of like what's shorty name, Mystique. But just to go back on Morph, can Morph use their powers if I'm correct, or he just Morph's ass them?
To a limited extent, yeah, he
So-
can.
Okay. So then just to like back another person up if need be, or he can use his powers to help Forge out. Like if he can use some of Forge's ability to like maybe if he needs to make a bigger weapon machine or whatever they might need to get through the mission. Cyclops, because I need the Cyclops moonwalk with the beam. I need that from X-Men 97. I don't care if he's fighting. I need that. I need that. That's on fire. That's on fire. When he was, I need that. I need that. And then Colossus and Nightcrawler, because for one, Nightcrawler does not get really a big lift in like most of these movies. He's sort of like the support cast. And Colossus, you just gotta have a tank on your team.
We were talking about casting too. The only one I have dead sure where I need this casting is I need David Johnson to be playing Nightcrawler. I need David Johnson as Nightcrawler. The guy from Alien Romulus, and he was in The Long Walk earlier this past year.
Okay.
Yeah, he would be an amazing Nightcrawler.
I like that.
Y'all gonna look at me crazy, but I need Zazie Beetz to play Domino again.
Yeah.
Stop.
Apparently, she's not against coming back for it.
Thank you.
That would be cool.
Thank you.
After watching her and They Will Kill You, I think she'd kill that shit. I ain't gonna hold you.
Just change up
She
how
got a
they
good script to work with.
Yeah, just change how she was like in Deadpool. Like she would be a perfect Domino. Keep her going.
She's a great. I think she's a great actor.
Yeah.
I think it's a situation where she just had a bad script because that Deadpool movie was not narrative wise. It's not it.
No,
It was all over the place.
Yeah, but it's Deadpool, so.
See, what I like about your team is I feel like it's really explosive. Like, it almost reminds me, like, knowing how much you love Deadpool, it almost reminds me of like a cast that I could end up seeing in like a X-Force even too. Like, it's something with Deadpool. You might hate me for this, but it kind of does even give a little bit of like a Guns team vibe to me, where I could see there being more humor that could be with that. I know you hate it. I'm sorry, but I can see where this team could lead to more humorous moments. I could see where, like, I really feel like that team is one where it can grab people's attentions given the different things with these characters.
The funny thing is, though, when I was picking this team, I did not think having Domino and Colossus, I was not thinking of like Deadpool when I picked them.
No,
now
I believe
that I'm
you.
looking, I'm like,
Wow,
really?
yeah, I have. No, but I like it though. I do.
Alrighty then.
There's one more.
Team, just let me know when you're ready.
I am. Oh, hold on. Let's
Play
go
his
this
timer for a
way.
minute and a half. He likes to talk too much.
That's crazy.
Where'd my timer go? All right, hold on.
Maybe
let me
gotta
see.
restart the joint. Yeah, possibly.
Remember what I was telling you? I was like, I don't know when it's gonna stop. What if
yeah.
that was like it? It was like, yep, nah, that's your time.
We at 8:14. Let me speed run this joint. All right.
Let's see.
So
I'll
I got
I'll do one on my
Got you.
phone. I'll tell you.
I got
mine.
Jean Grey and Cyclops. Now I know niggas is probably gonna have me up on the stake or something like that, but I think X-Men 97 showed us when they have good stories behind these characters, then all that other shit that they poo-pooed on in the X-Men trilogy, if I'm not mistaken, that came prior, it washes away just a little bit. You're able to watch this, you're able to see their interactions and actually enjoy it, or it's actually captivating, or it's actually emotional. It actually ties you in, type of thing. So I got them and their focal members of the X-Men throughout the years. I have Rogue because of her ability to be able to step out into other projects and also facilitate some things. So like when Rogue was introduced, I believe she was a villain, and she ended up getting Captain Marvel's abilities by absorbing her abilities at some point in time. I think that that would be a dope concept to do, to one, uplift Captain Marvel, bring her up to date in the story and everything like that, while also having a dope ass lady being the muscle of the group. I got Beast as well, because you just need a smart person on the team to be able to build suits, be able to build technology, so on and so forth. Storm as well, because we got to have some black representation and black lady representation. We love to see that. And she's going to be arguably the most powerful mutant on the team. I got Bishop as well, just because I like his design. Iceman, and then I got a toss up between Magic and Psylocke. Now, I didn't know which one to choose, but I think because I don't believe we have seen a live action iteration of Psylocke, and I think that we have?
Yeah,
Was that in the New Mutants?
Apocalypse.
Oh, the
yeah, New Mutants had Magic.
I feel like I try to I try to forget that movie, man. Yeah, that joint was just, oh man, it's only so much Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy could do, you know. So
you're not wrong.
I think that if they give that character love and attention, I think that she would be able to go crazy in this setup. Same thing I feel about Magic as well. I think if they gave that character love and attention, it'd be a lot easier to segue into different movies that cover the supernatural, like you were saying earlier, Captain Diesel. It's just more avenues for Marvel to be able to make more money in that process, and have a connectable universe overall.
I need the Midnight Suns. I need it now, damn it. I need that shit now.
Immediately. And then my fan casting for a person would be Chase Infinity, the daughter in One Battle After Another, for Rogue. I think she would do, but I know it's a lot of people out here that would be pissed.
That will not be
y'all
my
race
role.
swapping everything.
That's not my role.
You know,
I think she would be code for that role.
I see you.
I might need to see more of her acting chops.
I need to see a little. I need a beefier woman to play Rogue. I ain't gonna hold you though.
I feel you.
We done seen the skinny Rogue. I'm like, she ain't got to be like. I don't even say she got to be like thick. I need a beefier. Like, if she gonna be punching niggas out, I need a beefier woman to play Rogue.
Yeah,
in my mind at least. I don't even care about ethnic background. Be damned. You gotta be Amazon. You gotta be beefier.
Meg the Stallion as Rogue.
Shit. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at it. I'll be visually entertained. It's gonna be a bunch of action.
Oh, that part, the character part, is the part that kind of I have a hard time with. I don't know.
Oh, I ain't even tell mine. For me, Storm would have to be Jodie Turner-Smith.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
Of course.
You know, I'm getting to the point though where I want somebody to be, because I'm so tired of the infighting in the black community about who's playing her. I want to be somebody that nobody's ever seen.
Nobody said. Yeah.
Call it getting in between. Get somebody up and coming that's only been in like on some Chase Infinity shit with one battle after another. Get somebody that's only been in like one movie that was like a smaller film. Get somebody that coming off of Broadway, maybe theater. Like make it somebody all, because Storm is so many different things in the comics and in so many different things and so many different people. You're not going to find the one actor that's going to be able to encapsulate everything people want from her. Because if she's too masculine presenting, niggas going to say, oh, you chose somebody wrong because she should be fine and fit. But I'm like, okay, you're not worried about the acting. All right, cool. You want somebody that's just thick. That's your whole thing. You want a thick Rogue. You want a thick Storm. Because again, in the perfect world, we already know if we could time travel back, it's Angela Bassett. I think if we can go back, she's the best of everybody's world.
Yeah, hands down.
But 85-year-old Angela Bassett ain't gonna cut it at this point.
I just don't want Storm to be light skinned this time.
Jamie Lawson.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at Jamie Lawson, but I don't know, bro. I say go get, especially they're gonna be younger, because that's another like caveat here. Yeah. We already know they're gonna be young. Grab somebody that has not been, because at that point, her being thick is out of the equation. If she's supposed to be a young kid, if you still sexualizing her as a kid, you're weird, nigga.
Random question though. Would it behoove Marvel to have some of these characters, like let's say they do this first initial 5 and then they introduce characters like Rogue as a villain, like how she was introduced in the comics, or Storm as she's doing some other things in Africa, where her backstory lies, and then they eventually get introduced to her. What if they have some characters that are just older and like more of the mentor, and Storm is just kind of that? Because I'm pretty sure like that's basically her main role for a lot of her tenure in the X-Men, was being a mentor.
Full Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the version, yeah.
But what if we get Storm in the new Black Panther movie if they're going intergalactic?
That's what I was thinking as well. Like that'd be a interesting, just like how I say like a Captain Marvel, if they end up going back to it, would be a perfect way to introduce Rogue if they don't introduce her in this next X-Men film.
Yeah. I think Rogue, Emma, and Storm are probably the 3 like DLC characters that they add in through leeway of other movies. Like I'd probably bring in Rogue in like the next Ms. Marvel movie, probably. I'd bring Emma Frost in. You probably bring her in through an actual X-Men movie, but then Storm probably through the next Black Panther film as well.
And then
especially, honestly, if you want to age up his son a little bit, you can have him compare his son up with her. I know some people are worried about the recasting T'Challa whole situation, but in my mind, you have the son that you know the son's going to take the mantle at some point soon, and he's T'Challa Jr. That could be a perfect segue, especially if we know that Storm's going to be younger. Let's pair them up together and kind of age, just do a little time skip ahead where he's a little bit older.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They'll be able to knock out a lot of birds with a lot of stones, and then a lot of things that a lot of issues people were having was just the connectivity of these last couple of phases that Marvel has been dropping. So it fixes their issue immediately for a lot of the projects. All right. We could do a quick vote on who do y'all thought was y'all most favorite team out of everybody's.
It's tough because I feel like I'm not gonna lie, like I like all of the teams for different reasons.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to say, like, Rob, for yours, you know, the idea of Jean Grey, Cyclops, Rogue, Beast, I feel like that right there kind of gives a lot of the story. And I mean, Storm, it doesn't even stop there. Storm's for sure. Those characters right there give you could get a full story about the X-Men. Like you could go in a bunch of different directions and really give a strong, compelling story with the X-Men and ground who the X-Men are with just even those characters alone. You could do it with all of them, but like, I love that you kept the core for that reason. For Diesel's, I love that he also had the Magic and Colossus like I did for my list. But I do just think that, especially like if we give him speaking roles to a lot of these different characters that he picked, we're talking about some that are really opinionated. We're talking about, like, when I look at Nightcrawler, we got like, I don't know how they would do it, but it's so integral to his religion and how he feels about faith, and his like moral compass is something that's so intertwined with his character that I think about things like that. I think about the idea of like Storm. If she's coming into her, if this is something where she's younger and she's coming into who she is, those dialogues going back to like her past, and then as well as that, like the journey that she's had going forward, and also kind of again tying that in with that wisdom role with her, I see a lot of like talking points with this cast. Beast, Forge, the idea of those two with the level of intellect that they have. That would be a very, like, I would love to see the story for that. With T's list as a contrast, I would love to see the action from that. D, with your list is very similar with Rob's, where it's like it's really got some people that's just integral to the X-Men. When you think of the X-Men, I mean Cyclops, Storm, Jean, Kitty Pryde, that alone right there really gets you into who, like what they are, the family side of them, that dynamic. So I think that it's very similar to the points that I made with Rob. But all of these are iterations of the team that I wouldn't be mad at seeing.
I think Nino is probably the one we're going to get closer to seeing. Just because one, narrative wise, it makes sense for them to be a covert team initially, for them not to be seen. Two, you've got the classic again. We already know though the audience is going to be predominantly white men, and they're not going to take not having Gene and Cyclops on the team. So we got to have Gene and Cyclops. They got to be there. They got to appease the mass audience. And then I think the auxiliary characters in somebody like a Nightcrawler and a match. So you're put with the whole Catholicism with him, and then also having Magic be there, being somebody that's really based in limbo or perceived hell. I think those two would have a really interesting dynamic going back and forth with each other, especially them both being teleporters essentially in different ways. There's a lot you can do there. I think his team is probably the closest to what we'll see, more than likely.
And then if there's any tie-in with, like we've seen Mephisto, the tie-in ability with the Magic side too, where it's like, they could, because it's different. It's the MCU is always a little bit different. It's not, even if they are going with something that's a theme from the comic, they could at any point kind of spin it. And Mephisto could be in limbo, like, this is one of my realms too. And then they could be like, psych, this was somebody else's realm later down the line. If
I remember right, Limbo isn't Mephisto's realm. It's oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of the demon that oversees it, but it's another Hell Lord that works with Mephisto. They're like in the Hell Lord circle, so it'd be like a tangential thing to where they'd be. But again, to your point, the only Hell Lord we really seen is Mephisto up until this point, so they could just change that to make that be the case.
Yeah, so I do agree. I do think that D's team probably for MCU purposes. Yeah,
I can see that. I can agree with that as well. All right, just to wrap this up too, I do want to update y'all. There has been some rumors, since we're on the X-Men topic, has been some rumors of some actors. Obviously, we got the Sadie Seeker's Jean Grey. Supposedly, Odessa Ozion is going to be playing Rogue, and Peter Claffey is going to be playing Beast. Supposedly, allegedly.
Odessa, I kind of like that.